It was too late to rescue the child. All he could do was pluck the body from the flood engulfing Jabalia camp and tramp through the rain, at least to provide a decent burial. But that's not possible either. The Al-Fallujah graveyard in Jabalia is crowded with the dead from more than 2 months of war. Then today, Israeli soldiers drove their tanks through it, breaking gravestones and disinterring bodies. Even the dead can't rest in peace in Gaza. 1.5 million Gazans have been displaced, many of them to Rafah in the south, where rain has turned camps into swamps. Imagine trying to keep children clean and healthy in this. They're digging drainage ditches, trying to make the place livable to maintain some semblance of dignity. But it's cold now, and it must feel as if the clothes will never dry.
5 of us have to share just one blanket. There aren't enough and there's nothing to eat or drink. Life is hard, everything is expensive. Our house was destroyed and my son was martyred. I'm all alone. This is the 5th time I've been displaced, fleeing from one place to the next with almost nothing to wear.
In Al-Mawasi, the tiny coastal enclave where the Israelis told the Gazans to flee, tents collapsed overnight. The World Health Organization says this is a public health disaster. Israel still isn't allowing aid agencies to get enough food, medicine and shelter materials to desperate families.
The situation is catastrophic. Our life is very difficult. We were okay with our tent. We left our homes and everything we had in Gaza City to come and shelter in a tent here. But the winter weather has made life impossible.
None of it deters Israel. Yesterday, the Israeli Defense Force was fighting in Shujaiya near Gaza City. In the videos, they never show their enemies. But yesterday, 9 Israeli soldiers were killed in an ambush in Shujaiya, their worst combat loss so far. Amongst the dead, Lieutenant Colonel Tomer Grinberg, commander of the Golani Infantry Brigade, seen here a few days earlier in a school in Shujaiya that they had just taken. He was buried in Jerusalem today, one of the most senior officers to be killed in this war, which has as yet failed to defeat Hamas. Despite the deaths of at least 110 Israeli soldiers and more than 18,000 Palestinians, mostly civilians. There's been violence in Jenin in the West Bank too. 7 Palestinians were killed in an overnight Israeli raid. Jenin has long been a militant stronghold, and now anger and resentment against Israel is only growing. In Gaza, it must feel as if this will never end. Today they buried several children and a baby killed in an airstrike on supposedly safe Rafah. At the destroyed house, remnants of lives now finished that had barely begun.